So when terrorists struck on Friday, the 2016 presidential candidates were quick to react.
With the problems our country has to take in 250,000 people, some of whom are going to have problems, big problems, is just insane.
We have to look at ISIS as the leading threat of an international terror network. It cannot be contained. It must be defeated.
This is a threat to Western civilization, a threat to our own country. We need to be merciless in this effort.
And with ISIS now promising an attack on the United States, how will that impact the presidential election moving forward? Here to debate it, the Dallas brothers. Dallas Woodhouse is the executive director of the North Carolina Republican Party, and Brad Woodhouse is the president of Correct the Record. Thanks for being with us, brothers.
Morning.
Brad, let me start with you.
Sure.
Were some of the candidates' responses for you too extreme when it came to the Paris attacks?
Well, look, I think it's interesting. There's a couple buckets here. First of all, there is this kind of Republican Party Islamophobia that you would kind of expect. I mean, this is a Republican Party that wants to round up Mexican, undocumented immigrants and send them out. And this kind of reaction to the Syrian refugees is one thing. But the flip side of this is if you go through every policy that's been espoused by a credible Republican candidate for president, they're not proposing to do anything different than President Obama. They want airstrikes. We're doing airstrikes. They want to train the Iraqi military. We're training the Iraqi military. They want to create a coalition in the Middle East to go after the Islamic State.
What airstrikes is the U.S. military dropping?
Dallas, we've conducted.
I'm not aware of that.
You need to do some research before you come on these shows.
Hang on, Dallas, let me ask you this, though.
We've conducted 8,000 airstrikes in the past year.
In some ways, if you believe, and I'm hearing your brother here, are you xenophobic for not wanting refugees from Syria at this time right now?
No, I tell you what, I stand 100% with Governor Pat McCrory and other governors across this country that are standing up to protect America first. I mean, I got to tell you something. It cannot help any of the Democrat candidates that, I mean, quite frankly, the president sounded aloof yesterday. I mean, a setback? The slaughter of 150 people in Paris is a setback? He stood up and defended his policies 100%. It just did not match the leadership that people in America want to see when international terrorists are attacking an ally.
You know, Dallas,
in the way that they are.
Dallas, if you're going to say that, you have an obligation to state a policy difference that the leading Republican candidates have with the president. They want airstrikes. We're doing airstrikes.
How about not drawing a red line and then doing nothing when somebody crosses it?
You give me a specific policy difference.
He has showed utter and complete weakness.
Today,
well, let's hear Hillary Clinton, the person that you work for, stand up there and defend. Does she think it's a setback? It's a setback. No, it's a setback. Does she think that?
Why don't you get all
Does she? Come on, you speak for
her. All you focus on is rhetoric. How about policies? There's not one policy difference. Jeb Bush wants airstrikes. We're doing airstrikes.
The president,
you want to build a coalition,
the president is nothing but rhetoric, and he can't get the rhetoric right here. You know, standing up and having some leadership and going, we are going to kill these people before they kill us.
Brad, you would agree?
Should be the policy.
You would agree, though, that the Democratic candidates would potentially have to separate themselves from the president when the president says ISIS is contained, and 9 hours later people are slaughtered by ISIS in Paris, correct?
They're the JV team. They're the JV team, right, Brad?
Look. Secretary Clinton said they can't be contained; they have to be defeated. I absolutely agree with that. But when you get past
she also
all
wants
the
to
rhetoric,
empathize with our enemies.
All the Islamophobia, when you get past all the Islamophobia, there's not one policy difference that Republicans are espousing that is different than what President Obama is doing. No one.
Yeah, I'll tell you one. I'll give you a big one.
There's no. Hold on.
The president blamed America. The president blamed America when he said we play into ISIL by treating them like a nation state. I don't believe America has any responsibility.
I can only
for that.
imagine what your bed was like growing up. That's all I have to say.
One last thing. Everybody knows your position, Dallas. You came on this program 6 months ago and said the president should nuke a Muslim country. That's the type of rhetoric.
I said nothing about the president.
All right, guys.
I said
I'm going to let you all continue this argument on your own and have flashbacks to that bunk bed growing up. Woodhouse brothers, always great to have you. Whew! Bless your mom. That's all I have to say.